All right. We're back. We're back to Sid Meier's Gettysburg.
Welcome to Sid Meier's Psychoacoustics.
Look, since we posted that episode, I've heard so much support from all around the world.
Rob, you read me an email that started with that your emotional reaction was the equivalent of this fucker.
Hold on. Like, not every take has been good. Some people tell me things I don't want to hear, and then I subject their claims to a little more scrutiny, and I find them wanting. But anyway, what doesn't seem to be wanting is Patrick's tactical acumen. Patrick, you were posting pictures of, like, just racking up them dubs.
Look,
strong, as the Union.
Just a strong Union, just, what do they call it? What is a overwhelming? No, there's
decisive.
Like a decisive. No, but there's more than that. It's not just decisive, it's... Oh, it is decisive. There was like overwhelmingly decisive.
I believe it's marginal, tactical, and decisive.
So yes. So the last time we played this was on a couch a couple weeks back, in New York City. And since then,
I got wrong.
Maybe was that where it started, Rob? Like when we got that commercial?
I identified the Pace commercial. Yeah.
Is there a sticker still on the bottom of my mug? Oh, there is. I took off the sticker in the center. I didn't know there was a sticker at the bottom.
Both my mugs had stickers on the inside of the mug that were surprisingly hard to remove.
Well, see, the problem is I've already washed this, and so now that sticker that I've taken off is now just gonna have to, it's like turned into dust on me, and I'm just gonna have to wait for the washing machine to do the rest to it.
Oh, Dave's rocking that my Waypoint mug never arrived. You gotta, we're troubleshooting this process. You gotta get in their faces. Like, let us know how Spring responds when you're like, where's my mug? Or in the case of that one person who's like, I got a cello mug, which isn't what we were selling. Someone got a mug with a little cartoon of a cello painting itself. If you imagine like a cello was in Beast's castle in Disney's Beauty and the Beast. It looks kind of like what that would look like.
So someone's gotten an empty one, something with no stickers on it. A cello, which now that must be somebody else's mug. Does that span the and then some that have been off color, right? That's also been an issue.
They're all off color.
So these are all universally the same off color.
That is only because the Waypoint teal can't exist in the physical realm. Kato was explaining this to me the other day, and Kato went to art school, so we know it's real. But the way Kato is explaining it is that there's an entire spectrum of colors that only exists in like the digital, but in the real we are constrained by laws of physics, and so Waypoint teal just doesn't happen here.
Wow. So I have
that sums it up, right?
This is, what do they call the objects in control?
Object of power.
Yeah, is this an object of power then? It's not supposed to exist?
I think so. We're treading dangerously close to it.
All right, so I installed this game, and then the sound didn't work, and then I had Rob parsec into my machine and reinstall the game. And at least felt better that the mistake was really not one that I would have ever picked up on. And so we solved that, got the music working, got the sound working. Those bugles, you can't play this game without it. And so where I started, Rob, was, look, my history of strategy games is like largely of the 90s, Command & Conquer, Warcraft era. Never really got into like the hexagonal stuff, like the Sid Meier stuff. I remember I got Civilization for my first computer, like thumbed at the manual for a while, and then just realized maybe those games were beyond me. But for the 101, I had promised to take it seriously and like want to approach this the best I can from the perspective that I have. So I did all the tutorials. learned some interesting things that did not come up from just randomly clicking around. Like for example, that like you could set 2 different formations for my different units. Like, oh, I can send you. You can walk in a faster formation, and then if I click again, I can set the formation that you're going to turn into when you get to the location that I've sent you. Useful information. Like, cause I was just sending people forward when I want to send them in a column and then go into a line so that you can, you know, be the best that you can be. Also, that I could pause the game. That P button, very useful when you're thinking about what you would like to do next, as it turns out.
Yeah,
would have been.
And the game is faster paced than I remembered. It's a little closer, you know. I think maybe this is the way it really is like a Sid Meier game from this period. Its pacing is a little closer to like Sid Meier's Pirates than it is to like a lot of war games before and after, where it's like watch those units spin around and like
it's both. Well, we can get into it. I think we're going to start with. So this is what I thought. This allows us to like go through some like pretty easy scenarios. So I kind of talk through the game from my perspective. We'll do a couple of these. We'll take a break. Rob is going to give us a history lesson, some context from the era, and then Rob will jump into some more advanced scenarios. This video is not going to load, but
did you remember to
General Buford,
put the disc in the drive that I gave you?
No.
Yeah,
okay.
Devin, I've seen
it's fine. Everything, the audio will play.
So,
battle fought at this point.
You can imagine videos of reenactors marching along here.
Sir, the enemy will not make so rapid an advance. I can take care of all that will attack my front during the next 24 hours.
No, you won't.
They will attack you in the morning, and they will come booming.
Booming.
Skirmishes 3 deep. You will have to fight like the devil to hold your own until supports arrive.
Tactful Org is right. I am playing this on my modded PS2, so I think that's what's causing some of the issues. I don't know.
If we are able to hold it,
that darn modded PS2 always causing issues.
Deploy your men and hold out as long as you can.
A lot of Sid Meier games, even older Sid Meier games, are available to play on modern machines. This one you gotta do some trickery.
What's the situation?
The Rebs are here in force, sir. Gamble's brigade was pushed from Hare Ridge to McPherson's Ridge.
Yeah, this is the one that doesn't exist with Micropros and doesn't become part of the 2K era.
Look there, coming up the Emmitsburg Road. That's the.
Wow, this really just they speak from different parts. Like they're really using the left and right channel audio in this game, Rob.
He'll think he's up against 2 very
I love it.
cavalry brigades.
Like, just unnecessarily, like, an audio engineer is like, hey, we can have this come out of
Good job, John.
one channel or the other. It doesn't have to be both. My God, we could have them talk from one side or the other.
At the end of the battle.
Yeah, that's an amazing soundstage.
This is your best brigade. There'll be some more infantry coming up.
So, like, these early scenarios have some tutorializing, but are basically like, hey, we're only gonna do like real basic stuff. If you want to know like actually how to maneuver your units, you should go into the actual tutorial. The tutorials hold up pretty well. Like they were able to give me like there was some like real basic things that I wish I had known when I was playing before. Again, like the pause button, so I could like assess the situation. Because you mentioned that the game is fast, but it's both fast and slow, right? There are fast moments and then long periods of you just sort of waiting for the scenario to play out, where you could do some tweaking. You know, maybe you've scared a unit and then you want to turn them into, you know, there's an option out here called Skirmish, which basically like has them like, I don't know, terrorizing a unit. And you can use that to like really butcher like a group that you have kind of retreating. And so you know, it was stuff like that was useful for me to
I love your understanding of this. You put them in skirmish mode and they terrorize people.
Yes. I mean, that's kind of what telling me. They were like, hey, if they're retreating, send these fuckers into skirmish mode and they will annihilate them because they're scared.
I mean, it's true. It's just very funny.
And like, this is like the level of tips you get on this mode is like, but this tip doesn't exist in the tutorials. They don't tell you this. This tactical tip does not exist in the tutorial, but it does exist in like the early like kind of like story scenarios. It's like very, very odd. Also, a thing I learned, Rob, was like, oh no, when I get lost out here, how do I get back? How do I find my people? You just click here. Like, look at that. Look how useful that is. Like, I spent so much time zooming out because people notice. You can lower the DPI on your mouse, but if you hit the edge, the game is just like, yo, we're just gonna go as fast as possible. And there's like not much you can do about that. So for a while, I was just sort of clicking the screen, being like, I don't know what any of these names are. Where am I? But then if you click here, it literally says click here. All right, so this one we're just sort of like holding out. So we'll just hit on pause. Have everyone line up. We're just defending this farm. People are saying I don't think we can see the cursor. Oh, they can't see my cursor?
I can't either. So like this is a Parsec does this sometimes where it just isn't gonna let us see the cursor.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can sort of see the the cursor is highlighting like different.
Yeah.
You see like
we'll be able to
units.
see you take the actions when you like draw out a movement arrow. We'll see it. Yeah.
So frankly, there's not much to do here. I believe I'm gonna get some additional units from the south to hopefully help me with these fuckers in a moment. But this is a question. Like, look at these guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to tell if they're doing anything. Is like a thing that I have a trouble parsing in this game at times because are these soldiers? Is this 1-to-1 or are they representative? Right?
They're
like, are they?
So each of these guys. So the unit that's highlighted right now, 166 troops.
Yes.
And it has, let's see, let's call it 5-7 sprites.
Yes.
So yeah, like.
So this is one of the things that I've had a lot of times or a lot of trouble, like as I've been trying to grok this game, is my history of strategy games is like everything is represented on screen with what I'm dealing with. See, look at those fuckers get out of here. You know, they're scared. They're scared. Yeah. I got them on the run. It is trying to understand what's going on because I'm so used to like I have 10 tanks. I will take these 10 tanks around. Like I have these 7 soldiers. I will take them around. And here, like I mean, it's true and not true, but like the fact that it's representative of like a broader coalition of forces at times makes it difficult for me to sort of understand like what I should be doing. Right. Am I winning? Like this here is hard. Is like. I know I won't do anything and I'm gonna win because that's what this scenario is like sort of meant to do.
Right.
But like these guys, like oh, I guess you can't. These guys to the north at the top, like they're just standing there. Like, should I shoot them? Why aren't they shooting me?
Yeah, it looks like your unit is sort of dialed in on that unit toward the middle and is engaged with the guys in the north. Not sure why that is. You could probably rotate these guys around to the right a little bit more.
At the wheel.
Did you get them to change the target? Yeah, like I think at that point they will probably begin engaging guys in front of them a little bit more. Oh, see, that's very funny. So it's interpreting that as a unit is supporting it from behind, even though it's there at the end of the flank. It's just funny how the geometry there is working out. Okay, so I'm gonna explain why that's a bad move.
Yeah.
If you want to pause real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the minute these guys moved out of position, they lost 2 important buffs. They had the support of the units on their flank. Once they moved out of line, they lost that like bonus to their morale. And then they broke out of the woods and they lost the like heavy cover bonus because woods are better cover than like a wheat field. So that's why like they took like 5 steps out into that field and completely folded. Because basically the morale bar that like says how long they'll stick it out, suddenly that went down by like a third or more.
So like queuing these actions is not a thing that I understood until I like properly did the tutorial. Retreat? Absolutely not. I'm gonna tell you to hold, buddy. Hold the line. Stay there. No retreating. Pretty sure I already told you to hold. I did. Ah, click here. I will. Let's see. How about you guys going to skirmish? Shoot those guys. I guess like distance is also a thing I have trouble measuring in this game. Right.
That part is hard. That is, you kind of feel your way in.
Right. So like I have these three up here, and my thought is like, okay, great. Like, because if you put on, shoot, how do I do the there's like a topography mode.
Oh, with the like trace lines.
Yeah. Do I have to talk? Do I have a what is it like a commanding unit? I guess maybe I don't have one here. There's like a binoculars thing that you can turn on that like gives you a better sense of like your height. And so it's like, okay, well I want to put these up here so they'll like shoot down additional damage values as they're hitting down, but it's like, okay, well then I guess they it's like, all right, well I guess I'll just move. No, don't do that. Also realizing I could do actions while it was paused was
yeah. So I think the distance between the unit just to the left of the 5 VP icon and the guys like sort of straight across from them, that's like what I would call like the max effective range of guns in this game. So yeah, like the guys at the very north end of the line are still not engaged because they're still a little bit off. But okay, yeah, okay. Now they're
doing a little bit.
Okay, so that now we know exactly how long rifle range is, and it's that. Because the minute those two units step that close, they.
Here we go. All right, so okay, so we're gonna take these guys. We're gonna put them up here, high up. We're gonna unlimber those fuckers. Target infantry. Oh, why they? Can't really tell what that wheel icon is doing. Move them around. I think that's right. Okay. They'll do their thing. This will basically end the fight.
Oh no, those poor guys on the western end of your line.
Decisive victory. So this is also a thing that I have had trouble grokking is like, oh, the fight's over. Okay. Which again, I know is because it's a scenario as opposed to like an objective, which is just what I'm used to playing in like the strategy games that I have experience in is like, oh, not the game just sort of I guess, is it like a threshold that it's hitting? Where it's like, look, there's just no reason to
There's a timer.
Is a timer.
There's a timer in the lower right. So there's a little like clock icon that shows time remaining in the scenario. But I'm also pretty sure there's a mercy roll thing in this where like.
Well, yeah. Once I got those cannons set up on the hill, this is what happened both times. It's like the cannon shows up, which I'm sure is towards the end of like the timer anyway. But the moment those cannons start firing, the game's just like like okay, like we got nothing else going on for you.
They hit us pretty hard, General. At least 2 divisions coming down Cashtown Pike. But we held that hill and they fell back.
Good work, General Doubleday. My corps will soon be up.
Teddy Bear, OXO Patrick goes, this made you interested in other strategy games now. Not really, but I'm always interested in understanding why people like things. And so that's like the theory of like wanting to spend real time in this instead of just hearing Rob talk about why he likes it is trying to get a better insight into why other people find them interesting, even if like
this location at the end of the
I will certainly never spend any more time with this game once I'm done with it for the 101.
Troops. These troops are held in reserve.
I did play a lot of XCOM. I loved XCOM 1 and 2.
These
I
Napoleons
beat
are
both
good
of
for
those.
short
I almost feel like that disqualifies them as
More
strategy
infantry
games
and
then, if like
artillery
I'm
are
able to
coming
start
up.
and finish them.
Well, it's this is where like a strategy game becomes too broad a category, right?
Correct,
Like
yes.
this is a war game. XCOM is a tactics game.
I think that's like a really useful distinction. Like war games, both because I don't like have a strong like love and interest in history. Like that is something I commonly associate with people I know who adore these games, like yourself. I asked as an aside, just because my brain is now firing the synapse. When I was trying to figure out how to get this game to run and get the sound stuff, I was reading forums and deleting DLL files. And there's frankly not a lot about this game, even on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like usually like to the vastness of YouTube, this will give me an answer to anything. Everyone's got an arcane interest in something. Even like Sid Meier's Gettysburg, like not a ton of options, or even like tutorials.
I literally know the guy who it probably is most of the results on YouTube, right? Like this story.
Well, you do, because this is why I bring it up, which is like Windows 10 fix, and I was like, well, I'm Windows 11. Maybe this will help me out with the issue because you were AFK doing something else, and so I was troubleshooting, and it was like, I got interested in checking out Sid Meier's Gettysburg because I was listening to 3 Moves Ahead, and I was really fascinated by what Yada Yada and Rob Zachney were saying. I was like, oh my god, I'm here trying
.net, patreon.com/3ma
trying to get a fucking answer to running this old video game, and I'm having to hear them talk about Rob.
But I also found that on my long day's journey into tonight, or I guess my long night's journey into today, really trying to get this game to run. And the fix that was proposed in that video did not work for me.
Okay.
However,
they were also legitimately running it off a disc, and so
are we?
Because we all are running it.
But we have a different disc with some special qualities.
It is a compilation, right? Technically, of multiple Sid Meier's games. So
Somebody was asking if that General Doubleday in this is inventor of baseball, Abner Doubleday. Yes, it is. The thing that isn't real is that, of course, he didn't invent baseball. Like that's a bit of like a tale that's grown in the telling. But yeah, that's baseball, Abner Doubleday.
Wait, Limber is setting it up to fire, or Unlimber is setting it up to fire?
Unlimber is setting up to fire.
Okay, so I need to limber it first.
Yes.
Hold on.
However,
wait, did I mess up the order of operations then?
No, the game. This is their thing.
The game will figure it out.
Well, the game figures it out. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is, which is again, this like no joke. This is like the Sid Meier difference. There are a lot of war games that are like, you dumbass.
You didn't do that. And that was my first inclination. Was like, how do I clear the queue? So that like, okay, I should limber it and then set it and then set the wheel, and then that will like set my characters up for the action that I'm trying to take.
I think this has always been sort of one of the things that makes like Sid Meier's studios tend to work a bit better in the space, is because they like prioritize intent a lot, I think, over like specific like mechanical procedure. And so like, yeah, this is a game where you can be really fussy, but then there's an awful lot of features where it'll be like, you know what, we get what you're trying to do here, and we will make it work.
And then so are these just like,
so you can
basically bring if like points you've scored through the fight. If you need to turn the fight, you can go in like bring these.
It's more like you're digging yourself a hole. So you're going to take a 600 victory point hit to bring those units in, but that might be worth it if the victory location is worth 800 and you can't hold it without them. So that's kind of the thing, is like, do I want to call these dudes in?
So you don't want to do it just because you want to like have overwhelming odds, because that will, if you're playing the scenario for points,
right? However,
all you're doing,
one of the catches, and I'll probably show you a scenario like this later. I think there are some scenarios where like, if you wait for the crisis to develop, where you're like, if I'm going to need these troops, I'm going to know it will be too late. It's like one of those things where you kind of need to say from the start, oh, these guys need to come out and help.
So you can sort of see like how these early scenarios are essentially, they function as like a tactics tutorial. Like, hey, we have conveniently set up all of these woods right in front of your characters. You should probably put them there. Here's how flanking works.
Right. Okay, so. Oh, interesting. Now you probably do want to unlimber those guns, though, off to your left. Yeah.
Let's see. Who do I have here?
People asking about the keyboard stream. Yeah, I think after this stream, well, I'm going to sleep, of course, but then I'm heading down to New York and we're going to go build some keyboards. A keyboard.
Have you already packed that piece away? So there's like no way for you to forget.
I won't forget.
I won't forget. So like a lot of this is so much noise, and I know that it doesn't matter that much because it's like early, but like I look at this and it's like, I don't know what, if anything, I should be doing. Like I have all this iconography, and again, I've played the scenario, so I know there's really not that much for me doing, except like you're just supposed to put the soldiers into the woods and then point them in the right direction and have the cannon fire kind of take care of the rest. But this does make it like sort of in like a lot of these scenarios, and I guess you've played deeper into this game and how the more complex scenarios work out. Is it a lot more of staying in one place and like a skirmish takes care of itself and that's the scenario, or am I like taking these troops and like moving to a different area and like doing something that's going to like span an hour in the way that like I normally think of a strategy game?
So I think these scenarios in this tutorial thing are a little bit cut down. I will say, like, in the full version of this scenario, this problem evolves quite a bit, and at a certain point, you're gonna have to like deploy guys elsewhere.
Reinforcements are coming up.
Oh, who's showing up?
I think they're coming. I forget.
So something, I mean, and I think this is the limitations of games at this time. The thing that these scenarios don't quite communicate is that this fighting, when it's happening historically, there's still fighting happening where you were earlier. Like, the fighting never stops off to the left. It's not depicted on the map, because I think at the time you couldn't have that much happening on the map. So, like, what kind of gets lost here is the fact that, like, effectively you are the roof of the Union position. And like the walls are still holding on either side. But like that doesn't come through in the way these scenarios are portrayed.
Look at all these motherfuckers that are scared. Get out of here. Go, run. So when they trigger into that like running motion, that I guess that they're in like some sort of like scared state. They're retreating basically.
Oh wow, yeah, you're just melting them.
Bye. Bye.
However, they're really moving off to your right. But okay, so now that little hourglass thing showed up, yeah. Damn.
Decisive. So I think I did two, and then I didn't start the third. So I think we'll start the third, and then we'll break for our history lesson. Your rating 3,365. What would I compare that to? Unclear, but it's like a big number.
Well, you're doing all those honors
I've
are
just spoken with
you're doing
General
really well.
Doubleday. His boys have thrown back 2 rebel assaults and are digging in.
Very well. My division is deploying now, General. Cavalry reports enemy troops coming in from the north.
I can't believe Niles Crane was a general.
Take care of that flank, General. We have very few reserves.
Don't worry. My boys can handle them.
They can't handle him.
You must hold this location at the end of the battle.
Okay.
These men have some experience.
All right.
This is your best brigade.
All right. This is more complicated than
These men
All
have
right.
some experience. These men have some experience.
Okay.
These troops are held in reserve.
Oh, Rob, this is a giant escalation of
These
things to
Napoleons
keep
are good for
track
short
of.
ranges.
The historical gamer out here gifting 5 subs to Dr. Bucket, Symbionis,
More
Scrubby
infantry and
McDub,
artillery are coming up.
Foxtrot, and Slow Buffalo. Okay, hold on. So I went from, hey, we're gonna put all your
Defend this
troops.
tiny grove of trees.
We put all of these troops right next to this forest. Put them in the forest. Set up your cannons. Go get a beer. Like, you're good. And then third scenario, we have scattered you all over this map. Told you some specific language, like this is your most effective. This has some experience. What does that mean? I mean, I can surmise that, like, hey, they're going to be more efficient than others.
Here's something I will also tell you. Historically, this is where things really begin to go to shit for the Union on the first day.
Okay.
So the entire morning is the Union pretty much wrecking house because the Confederates are coming down like 1 or 2 main roads that the Union is able to effectively block off. Here, you can sort of sense it's like late in the day, and they're starting to have to cover a number of approaches to the city, to the town, with like smaller and smaller groups of troops. And so they're not here yet, but if you zoom out, and this is kind of what is the undoing of the Union position. So you can sort of see he's defended, he sort of dug in along that creek, right? And covering, like, really effectively only covering 1 road. He thinks he's covering 2, but he actually doesn't have great line of sight off that road in the northeast. Confederates are coming down that road.
Oh,
and I think they're actually
Coss
coming
Hill or whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember which of the roads the actual like main road is called, and I believe there's actually more Confederate troops coming from even further to the right. So the whole like Union first day is things start really well, but what they don't realize is that the Confederates are like attacking from about 270 degrees of the compass is kind of what they've stepped into, and this is the part where like all those other arcs begin coming into play. So like,
Okay, so wait, they're here to the south. So this is okay. So we have this town that's going to be tagged. I have all these. I guess that's why I have so many to the northwest, because that is as you communicate, or northeast. Because here they're starting to come here. I do like there's occasional sounds because the game is not actually fully paused. I'm pausing it, but I'm sure this is a quirk of running the game on modern hardware. It's constantly unpausing to just briefly move forward by like a millisecond and like allow a tiny calculation of data to occur. So let's see. So this is what I was talking about. Line of sight.
oh wow.
So you only get this if you have whatever the commander equivalent is or whatever, like I didn't have that in an earlier mission. But these do let you then see like much more clearly, like kind of like how the topography is working out in a way that you can kind of like see this is a hill, but is a little bit easier to see because like the color, the monochrome color lets you kind of surmise that a little bit clearer. Hey Swanson, did you flip the turbo button? Oh man, I had one of those SNES turbo button things with like the 6 sliders you could do at the top for each of the different buttons. Wasn't all that useful. I can't remember what like the use case was for that stuff. So let's see. Let's look at these. They're unlimbered, so they're in the forest. I really don't see any reason to fuck with those boys too much. I'm just mostly worried about this city.
Well, So no, the town you do not need to worry about. I will tell you.
I don't need to worry about the town. Leave the town alone.
Yeah, because the town, like the one thing you never have to worry about in this game basically is like street fighting. What you should be worried about, zoom out again a little bit. Okay, so yeah, the county almshouse. I think the creek around the county
Which is what I need to
almshouse-
defend. That's the whole objective of this scenario. Is like, man, fuck this town. But like this country almshouse, you need
Yeah,
to
can
be
you-
holding this position by
Can
the
you
end
scroll
of
a
it.
bit right as well? I just want to see if there's anything else out there. Like, is there anything? Okay, yeah. So you don't have to worry about anything too far out to the right. But yeah, the county almshouse is more vulnerable than it looks. Because again, I think there's a lot of Confederates coming over
right
on
on the east. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, if we don't know what we're getting hit with yet, and right now we don't, they haven't really.
So I might as
cleared.
well just chill, right?
Yeah. What I would do is I would
Maybe
take,
bring some troops over to like the east side forest and like set up like in there ahead of time.
That's one thing you do, because like the longer troops are left in place, they will begin to dig in just automatically. They start like scraping out little like trenches for themselves and like creating cover. And troops left in place for a while will get like an entrenchment bonus. That will be like one of those little morale bars.
So we've already got cannons over here. So why not send them over here? Unlimber over there.
So okay, so let me explain a quick thing about those guns though. So you'll see two types of guns in this game: rifles and Napoleons. The Napoleons are kind of the king of the battlefield in this game in a lot of ways, but most importantly, anything labeled a Napoleon is like a smoothbore gun. It doesn't have like rifling, and mostly what that means is like they are enormous shotguns that exist on the battlefield. So like moving them into a distant location, they can still shoot effectively at range, but you kind of want to reserve your Napoleons for like where you think people might be getting dangerously close. Because like if you walk up to a battery of Napoleons, you'll just walk into like a cyclone of metal. Rifles aren't as good at that. Rifles are more accurate at range. So I would not stand the Napoleons too far off. But yeah, like putting them on the county almshouse,
right?
Basically
like a
means
last defense. So like come into my
Right.
my shotgun home. Okay, all right. Let's see, and then let's bring. So does he command all of these guys?
Yes.
So we probably. I feel like if they're here, something's going to happen. So maybe we don't want to.
Well, so they're kind of clearly left in a position where like he's got two skirmish lines out front. Basically, that like they're sort of guarding the left flank, but they don't actually know where the fight's going to be. So I would probably leave them like standing pat for now, because we just don't know where the pressure is going to come from. To me, it's that bridge off to your right. To me, that is like ringing alarm bells, but we don't see anything there yet. So,
all right, well let's let it play out a little bit more. Okay, so there's now we got a lot of we've had some movement. All right, so we have a lot of people coming in from farm to the north. We have a huge group coming in directly towards that bridge that you just mentioned. See if there's anything else that has occurred. Don't see any other troops spawning. Okay, so it seems like those are going to be the two fronts, at least at the moment.
We got him now.
Okay.
Okay, so let's pause 1 second.
Yeah, all right. So they're coming in. They're like working their way around.
Yeah, so I actually think your left flank is in okay shape with Schlimmelfangs, the German brigade, the Pennsylvania German brigade, Schimmelfennigs brigade. I think the left flank is in okay shape, but like your right's about to get like completely like
overwhelmed.
There's nothing stopping those guys from walking down that road and just like walking through your line. So that's kind of the crisis you got at the moment. Who? What was that brigade that was coming through the town? Where are they right now?
They're right here.
Okay.
They're kind of moving. Should I like, if I double quick them, they might be able to get over there at least to.
I think it is time to have them at least double quicking up to the county almshouse. Remember to put.
What does the black mean? Does that mean that's out of their reach, or?
I can't. I do not.
Is that a graphical glitch? Could be one.
No, I don't think it is, because it's changing when it goes over a certain type of terrain. When it clips like the field by the almshouse, but I don't remember what it is. Perhaps somebody remembers. But I would race them over there, and like when you release that key, hit maneuver column right there. Road. Sorry, road is better because they'll continue to follow the road.
Oh wow! Yeah, I didn't fuck with any of this stuff.
Yeah,
and then double, right? Or do I want to keep it a road? Do I want to double?
Keep it road for now, because they will auto follow the road, and that's like going to give them a movement bonus. Yeah.
Okay. Hold. No retreating. Not in my game. So they're moving over. Oh, that's a lot of guys, Rob.
Oh boy. Also,
well, they're working their way over there.
Yeah,
this doesn't seem out of control.
Yeah, but Schimmelfennig probably wants to get those regiments behind up into line. Or you can pull the skirmishers back and have the cannons fall back a little bit so you can use the fence line as a position.
All right. Yeah. I could probably turn those tips off next time.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so they're moving up.
So now the Polish brigade there, the Krajnowski, whatever his name is, the guys down at the bottom of the map. I would deploy them into a line of battle and move them up on that Confederate flank.
Move what? Sorry, the bugle noises are overwhelming at times.
Is it Shizhanowski? Is that it? Anyway, the Polish general there at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would now drag him up toward that little footbridge over that stream. Maybe a little farther back than that. But I would deploy like a battle line roughly along that position. Rotate it a little bit.
Okay, Rob, I'm gonna allow you to give me one or two more pieces of advice, and then we're just gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now, I'm just gonna warn you.
Yep.
You got units there and try to march up into position at the very far north into the middle of the Confederates. So like always rotate the battle line so that like people have a clear line of approach.
You do that with the wheel, or is like?
Yeah, it's like commanding a regiment.
Oh, I see. Okay. Like, gotcha.
All right. And now, it's all you.
Okay. All right.
It looks like it's still going pretty well.
Got these guys coming up. They're there. I don't know what this dude's doing. So go get close to something, buddy. Because if you get closer, don't you get some sort of bonus? Get over
Yeah, he provides a morale bonus. They also can get killed, but like, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Yeah, no tips. No more tips. Oh, there's a lot going on over there.
Reporting, General.
Pause. Column. Skirmish. Double quick. You'll get there before they show up. This all seems fine over here. This seems okay. I'm worried about how many people are over here. I don't think. Are they getting fired on by that?
What was that thing about a new Confederate officer?
Not sure. See you, Wheel. I think that's what that'll be. Oh, they're getting fired on from the north. I see.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's a lot of
Yeah, that's not great. Okay, I think... See, look, these guys aren't doing anything. We're gonna limber you up. Get over here. Don't know why. Let's get over here a little bit. Hey, you dudes aren't doing anything. We wheel you over. Woo, woo, woo. Right, they're heading out there. Oh, is this fight going up here? Okay, so doesn't seem terrible. I don't like that over there. There's more coming in from the north. A lot of fighting over there. These guys are moving in. Okay. Oh. Oh, that is what points them. I see. Okay. Just don't know why. See, nothing's happening over here. Guess they're just holding the position, which is not the worst thing in the world.
No, but I am with you. Like, I mean, if they could roll it up a bit.
Right, they're just not. I don't know if I need to move them like a pixel over. All right, they're setting up. Join the fun. I see. I get hit by there too.
So
That's all right.
there's a control thing that might be useful for you to know.
Mm-hmm.
Schimmelfennig's brigade is like, go back over to him 1 second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You might be noticing that when you move him around and you give brigade commands through the general, only 2 regiments move.
Mm-hmm.
I think that unit right off
Do I
to
need
the
to
right,
hit attach?
Yeah, it's reattach. Exactly. And that will put him back. Like, that means those units will once again respond to the brigade commander orders. And the reason you would detach a unit, obviously, is like when you really need to like carefully position a regiment, you do not want them moving.
Right.
Then you want them detached, so that like you can move the big unit around, and the little unit like stays put where it should.
A lot of shit going down right here.
Somebody asking, was cavalry not really a thing in the American Civil War because these lines seem vulnerable to a flanking charge? It really wasn't. Part of it is that genuinely America didn't have like a supply of like the types of horses that were used for like European cavalry regiments with like that kind of training. U.S. cavalry was more about like covering like the vast distances of the American West. So they were more like long-range reconnaissance units. And there was really no equivalent to like Lancers that you have in Europe. Never really became a thing. And the other thing is that by this point it's moot. These rifles can kill people from 400 yards away. Cavalry's day was kind of in a world where muskets couldn't hit very well beyond 100 yards. So, cavalry had better things to do, and there wasn't the right kind for those kinds of maneuvers.
Decisive victory. Fuck them up. Hoop. 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 Come at me. America.
Wow, those guys crossing that river really... Damn. So keep an eye up for the tip of that triangle, that unit that gets pushed across the river, because they just smoked everybody. Oh shit, they did. Look at them.
Boom. Boom.
Jesus. It's like 4 regiments just demolished.
All right, I'm gonna jump out of this. Kato, do you want to not cut to card, but or whatever you're gonna do, so that we can switch over to Rob?
I'm going to disconnect from Patrick.
For a while, that didn't feel that was overwhelming, and then, like, especially when I got this, like, when I just said, fuck it, bring those cannons over, like, the battle was, here's what I've learned in 3 scenarios. Cannons. Don't want to be near them. At all.
All right,
Seems
so
bad.
I have to warn everybody.
Uh-huh.
Some of these games are... I don't know how they're going to present very well. I was playing around. The first game I'm going to show you, I was seeing some weird graphical artifacts that were kind of flashy and weird. And so you might see that as well. Patrick, you can connect to me when you have a second.
Yeah, let me get my mouse to move it more than... oh, wow, it feels so fat. Feels so fast now.
Yep. Oh, yeah, it's... Oh, we want the intro. You're not hearing that audio? All right, hold on.
I'm not, he has to accept me. Rob is to accept me into his heart,
right,
also known as his computer.
This might be the virtual cable thing as well, Kato. So let's try something real quick. No. All right. Let me try something I know is going to work.
I'm hearing like a clip.
Okay. Good. All right. This might be loud. I have no control over it. Do you hear a little horn?
I do. Following the exile of Napoleon to the Mediterranean island of Elba in 1814... Oh, okay, well. In 1815, while the nations of Europe squabbled, Napoleon landed on the south coast of France. 3 weeks later, he encountered Paris, where he was hailed as Emperor of the French. After failing to arrange a peace settlement with the Allies, oh my god, that sound, Napoleon mobilized his army, allied against him with the Anglo-Allied and the Prussian armies led by the Duke of Wellington and Marshal Blucher. The fate of Europe hung in the balance as Napoleon's soldiers marched once again to the cries of Vive l'Empereur! The outcome would only be decided by the clash of arms. Oh my god! What is going on? Napoleon always glitched out like that.
Look, he was not at his best during the campaign. He was glitching uncontrollably. Okay, so this is a Microprose game. Adrian Earle is the designer here. This is the first game I can really recall that like had this sort of like miniatures type look. I think this is like 1992. This is one of the first computer games I ever bought.
I was gonna ask, was this something that you went back to because you were curious, or it was like an early Rob Zacny? I think. Do you love history at this point, or are you learning to be interested in history because these games are appealing to you?
It's kind of self-reinforcing, right?
Okay.
It was like I was predisposed, but like, this looks cool, and then this sort of drove me down more of these rabbit holes.
Phil the Snowman. Phil the Snowman asked, how many floppies did this come on, and what size were they?
This came on like, I want to say like 5 floppies, 3.5.
Okay, yep.
Okay, so there's certain things that aren't going to appear real well. Should we just go to the big boy? Should we just go straight to
Waterloo, baby. Even I know that.
All right. Do we want to be the good guys?
What's more fun?
All right, we'll be the good guys. Look, Pax Britannica's bullshit.
Wow. Look at this modern throwback pixel game. I love pixel art. This art looks like something I would see on Steam right now.
Isn't this that skiing game? What was that ski?
The what game?
Shit.
Yeah, the ski game with the Yeti.
Oh God.
Just the little people.
Look at those. Look at that movement.
They run like the Yeti.
So,
well, is this game running at a ridiculous frame rate?
Yes, that's the glitch. Yeah. They are supposed to be like, there's an entire animation we're supposed to be seeing, and instead it's just a wild oscillation. I do wonder if they change the game speed.
I doubt that's going to change the. I feel like that's something you'd have to like mess with the DOS box to fix, if at all.
Yeah. But
Peach Parts pointing out something I agree with. This is way more readable than Sid Meier's Gettysburg.
So it's got some of the same features though, right? So like you can give commands by division. Oh man, what's is that Hugama? Is that's the little walled like farm they couldn't quite take? The chateau.
Rob, you say this as if anyone else on this call knows anything about the Battle of Waterloo.
You know. You got your little art discussion with Kato, and now he's back with me out of his element. Because Rob hopes that a Waypoint commenter can save him.
Was that cross always there? I can't remember. Oh shit. Okay, so this has already gone a little bit. So the cavalry ended up fighting somebody.
The music here is killing. Oh look, limber, unlimber. Look at that cannonball. Oh, so it actually tells you if it's within line of sight. Okay. Yeah. Things that Sid Meier's Gettysburg doesn't tell you. Is an enemy in line of sight, and will your troops do anything? No, you need to figure that out.
So yeah, so like the thing about this is this is all actually kind of new for this moment. This idea that it's a very small square grid, I think, that's underneath this that you can't quite see. But yeah, the notion of like a real-time like tactical war game like this was basically, I don't know if it was unheard of, but like it was a real small market, right?
You said this was what, 1992?
Yeah. So like it took me a while to realize that effectively this game doesn't have much in the way of AI, which is always going to be the sort of the, oh man, this cavalry just demolished everybody.
Right, because CNC is 1995. The original Warcraft is what? Must be right around this time, right? No, 94. So this is several years after.
Yeah, so you can change like unit formation and such. So it's like it's got a lot of these familiar elements, but the thing is, it also is it's pretty crude. Like the morale model is pretty simplistic. This really is somewhere between an RTS and like an historical war game. I wish I could show you some of the goofy things it's got. So like there's supposed to be, like you're supposed to be able to get, you can see a quick flicker of it. There are biographies for like every general in this game, and I think like unit histories for most of like the individual brigades, to let you know like what they did historically and what their whole deal was. So like it really was also again sort of fitting in with that notion of like almost a military history book. Oh, that's friendly. Oops, almost shot those dudes. I got confused. Another thing I do appreciate here is the unit colors are accurate. So yeah, the French troops are all blue, but the Brits also have like German principalities fighting with them and like Dutch units. that are wearing different colors. So we have the red coats, sure, but we also have let's see, green jacketed Hanoverian troops, which is this is kind of key for this stuff because like Napoleonic wargaming is all about basically getting costuming right, and people live for that. This is the golden age of the military tailor. So yeah, so like this is 1992 before Gettysburg. I will say after this, Adrian Earle went on to make, and this is another formative moment for your friend Rob. He went on to make one of the worst Civil War games I've ever played. And because you can sort of see the scope of this, right?
We all got to take our L's sometimes.
He goes from this, where it's like we're going to cover this short campaign, and basically have depict all the battles in this one campaign. He goes from that to being like, what if we did this whole game that we're playing here, but we also had a strategic layer that covers the entire Civil War. And you are like raising regiments across the North and South, and like, arranging naval blockades and landing troops, and like creating the armies out of whole cloth. And then when those armies like fight on the strategic level, you go to a battle like this on the tactical layer. And this was a formative moment for me because the thing is, this was the first time I realized previews lie. When I like bought the sequel to this on the back of, I didn't even wait for the reviews. I was already all in on the previews. I get this game.
Were you reading Computer Gaming World? Was that like your Bible?
Yeah, PCG and Computer Gaming World. Yeah. And the previews had been like, wow, this game's got the entire Civil War in it, and I was like, bigger is better. So I bought it.
A big video game.
Yeah, and of course, the entire thing completely fell apart, right?
One faint cat says it sounds like he tried to make Total War way too early.
Yes, it is like somebody trying to make Total War in like 1994. But yeah, so like I just want to show you this really quickly to give you a taste of like. This is one of the few games where I can really think this is like a little foretaste of what like Sid Meier's Gettysburg was going to end up doing. But that's not really the direction things went, because even at the time, this had a reputation for not being a very serious war game. Very arcadey. Haha, got you, Slednitsky. Settlnitsky, fucker. You want to see what became sort of the default before Sid Meier's Gettysburg?
Sure. Hit me.
All right, Kato, we're gonna bring up another thing. Oh, but hey, before we go, can I ask you Sid Meier's Civilization or Grand Prix? Grand Prix.
What's the legacy?
I don't know. That I don't know. I know all these others. I have no idea what the legacy is. It looks bloody.
Yeah, it does look like a horror game. Yes, the legacy, Realm of Terror. Simply titled The Legacy in some countries, working title is Haunted House. It's a horror role-playing game developed by Magnetic Scrolls and published by Microprose for the PC. A special collector's edition was released by Radio Shack.
All right. So...
It was released digitally on December 20th, 2019 by Pico Interactive. Oh, Pico Interactive. A publisher that has a history of buying up old games and re-releasing them, but also of terrorizing the hobbyist community. Not so good, Pico.
I hate that. All right, so I am loading up. Talonsoft made a series called the Battleground series, and it was overseen by a developer named John Tiller, who passed away recently. John Tiller always... Kato, I promise we'll zoom in. This is... I can't... Hold on, I can't...
Well, I love that Windows sound.
I will try to... I hope everyone loves it, because we're going to be stuck with it for a minute here. I can't... Can I not resize this window? Oh my god. Kato, just grab from the left. Just make it fit. The right side of this is not going to come into play. I promise you.
Dum.
There we go. This is what we're going to be dealing with.
I gotta.
Oh wait, I gotta start a new scenario. Hold on. No, fuck.
Those are hexagons.
Oh my god, do I seriously have to open a different... Where the fuck is it? Gettysburg. Oh, fuck off. Okay, hold on. Start a scenario. Play. That's the Townsoft logo is playing. Okay, the Confederates will be AI. We will be Union.
What is
Rules.
automatic with FOW?
Fog of War.
Oh.
But I think we will leave Fog of War off so you can see how the game is playing itself a little bit.
Oh, so you can just set up scenarios and watch them do their thing without you even messing with it. I see.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It's in the bottom right-hand corner, I think. The action dialogue, is that what's causing the issue? Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
It was hidden by
No, yeah. All good.
Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in here real quick. So believe it or not, we just played the scenario. This is what you were just doing in that first scenario of Gettysburg. This is the same engagement.
Oh, I see it. Okay, I see the farmhouse is there, kind of in the center. That that same bridge off to the right. We're just kind of like tilted to the diagonal a little bit.
Right. So this is that ridge that like is the high ground behind your line. This is where the Confederates were setting up their whole.
Is that little town all the way at the south? What the game?
The town is off the map.
Okay.
What
all right.
this is remember there's that little like seminary college building that was in some of the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
That's that.
Okay.
So this is where the Union generals have their headquarters. So this begins with the Confederates sort of deploying out. And I need to stress here, for the time, people were like, wow, this has got a really beautiful, 3D map. And actually, in some ways, I do kind of like the terracing effect of this map. I think in some ways, like this presentation has aged really well.
I mean, it looks like old, like early CD-ROM CG, like that you would see, but like in the pre-rendered backgrounds that you'd play in like the adventure games of that era that I remember, like the Journeyman Project and things like that. But instead, I'm moving little soldiers.
But obviously, stuff like this has always been controversial. There's always been people who are like, I don't like this eye candy stuff. I want to make sure it's a serious war game.
Okay.
And so for them,
oh my fucking god.
Which looks horrible.
Wow.
Like, first of all, it now looks like they're fighting in North Africa.
There's like no aesthetics to this.
No,
representative of the actual location. Wow.
So
can you switch from? So this is all, you could change this in real time, right? Because it's all just rendering the same data.
Yeah. We good?
Oh, I see it. I see it, Kato. We've replaced our faces with the topography. This is good. Maybe it's an improvement.
Oh man, are people talking about the Journeyman project in chat?
Well, yeah, but this art reminds me of that era of adventure game.
Turbo.
I loved that first one. I don't think I played beyond the first Journeyman Project game, but I played a lot. That was like when I was playing, the Tex Murphy games. Like that's like an era of what I used my early Compaq computer, I think, is the one that I had that was able to run some of that stuff.
So I don't know how to play this game very well, but I can take you through some of it. Because I this was never my series. I only like learned to play a bit of it. The other thing I need to stress here is that John Tiller, this game is coming out like the mid 90s. John Tiller was active pretty much up until his death, like a year or so ago. His games looked like this from beginning to end. He had his style of making games and his interface. And so when you bought a John Tiller game, they were always in this mode. The thing that changed is computers got more powerful, and by some lights, he got more and more, look at what I can do with this power. So like his World War I game, like World War I Squad Battles or something, it is literally like a it's this, but you can send like individual like squads out to like capture a German machine gun and like take it over and start firing back down the German lines, but all through an interface like this. It just gets really granular, and in ways that like I think become increasingly daunting. But here I think scale, like his style of making a game and the scale actually end up matching up well. So we're in the defensive fire phase. There's only, I think, one unit. And I apologize. You're going to hear the Windows unit sound so much in this fucking game. I can't. Oh.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if we all got that. I can't move where the videos are popping up. But when there's...
Can you capture that part of the screen and like move it over like it's another layer?
Here, let me get ready, Kato. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, give him a second.
Because they are using reenactor footage.
That's what, Rob, that was my next fucking question. I was like, so we just talked about the Journeyman project, Tex Murphy. This is the age of CD-ROMs, early like FMV. And I was like, I feel like I just saw some FMV over in the corner. Because people can't quite grasp this. Like, I'm sure you saw it like earlier in the stream, but like for what I see is like a giant black screen in the upper left-hand corner is the worst. Okay. And then over on the right are just like things randomly appearing. Got to capture the right spot. there we go. Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to wait for the Confederates to advance and do a little.
That's all right. We're making progress. It's tiny for us too. I should point out, like Kato's gonna make it bigger for you than it will be for me.
I do need to emphasize here. The sound effects are basically wrong. Like, this isn't what lines of this kind of musket fire sound like. This is a really generic gunshot sound effect, just like mixed together.
Gun.wave, just layered over four times.
Like genuinely, I think this is 180 degrees wrong for what this sounds like. Okay, so now it's my turn. Do I get any reinforcements? No. Do I have any reinforcements coming? Because as we know, they are. And there's Cutler's brigade. This is your best brigade. All these folks are showing up. But for now, all I've got is this like cavalry screen. So
this is actually starting maybe earlier in the day than the scenario in Gettysburg. In Gettysburg, it feels like I've got more people who've already showed up.
Yeah,
set up like, or
this is starting like first thing in the morning, right after, like they skirmished for hours before that part of the battle. Like literally, it starts with, I think the Union cavalry had, I don't know if you can see my cursor up here, but like that grove of woods to the far north. Mm-hmm. Like I think they had like skirmishers.
Oh no, I can't. That was my cursor.
Sorry. But yeah, I think they had skirmishers like way the far out. They were initially defending that ridge that the Confederates are setting up on in your scenario. Like that was the original Union like line of defense. And they just slowly fell back across the morning. So this is kind of starting early in the day. So interestingly enough, when I was playing around with this a bit earlier, Confederates did something weird, but kind of clever. They just kind of shit canned the direct assault on that ridge that we were defending in the scenario, and they basically swung the entire thing to try to cross the stream to the left of those woods, which was kind of an interesting approach. So some of this is familiar, like. I can change, before a unit makes a move, I can change its formation. I've now put these guys in column, but since they're a cavalry unit, instead, for the movement bonus, they mount up. And I'm going to move them here. And it's a click and drag thing. Mm-hmm. Gonna mount them up. Because I just fundamentally don't think I have too much to worry about from this eastern flank right now. That is my belief. I am going to have these guys move up behind the hill. Something I'm going to do this time, though, which I didn't do the last time I played, is where possible, I think I'm going to try and yeah. Is it auto-saving them? Where possible, I'm going to try to not have my units just standing out there getting shot. These guys up front, I'm letting that happen because the longer it takes the Confederates to get their shit together, the better for me. Like that's kind of the strategy here, is just making them push these guys aside and go to the trouble of doing it so they can't just march up. So, yeah, I just want to wait until the next unit arrives, because then it'll start to look a little bit more like what we saw. Yeah, so there's not a lot of damage being done, but there's a lot of like wearing each other out that we're doing at this stage. Melee phase is something we need to worry about. Okay. Confederates are bringing their reinforcements onto the map, and they're kind of rushing down my troops. You can sort of see now these guys in their forward positions are kind of in deep shit. I kind of wish I hadn't left them that far forward. So here's what's kind of fun, though, I will say. Mm-hmm. So I was playing around with the scenario earlier. They're doing something different than they did the last time I played. Like, they didn't shift this far to the right when I played them this morning. And
so
I wonder
it's like complex enough to not just be a puzzle game that you're solving by running the scenario enough times.
Right, and this is something that, like, even war games today kind of struggle to do. Like, how do you make an AI that's sort of unpredictable but still, like, sensible? And, like, right now, it's a coherent attack. It's just in a completely different place than they did it last time. And that's kind of nifty. Wow, they just kind of put that window anywhere. The little No, it went into the left side of the frame this time. Oh, sorry. And then at the bottom of the screen, so I can't fire at the Confederates on the other side of that stream because it looks like the house hex on our side of the stream is blocking it. So I can't make that shot, but I can arc this shot over at these guys in front of my troops, and hopefully that works well. So now my guys are running around. Well, maybe not. We're getting lucky on some rolls. So the other thing I think war games of this type, and especially of this era, and this is an ethos that's changed in board war games as well. Games of this period, they love doing combat resolution. Like, what's more fun than rolling 20 attacks per turn? And so war games follow that on PC as well, where it's like we're gonna repeat these encounters and resolve each of these attacks on a resolution table. Did my unit fucking die?
Well, I mean, I beat this scenario, so we'll just have to see what happens, Rob.
What happened to my guys? What happened? What are they doing to my boys?
Just gotta get those cannons. Do you have any cannons?
I have a cannon. I have a single cannon. Where is there like a log? What the fuck happened? Removed units. Okay, no, they're not removed. Okay. You know what? They're probably just fine. They're just somewhere else, not on the map. But anyway, so like you can sort of see this game is following this pattern where it's like we are going to like have one attack after another unfold and roll a different attack for it. And now there's just a general move to try and condense that stuff into like a single roll. So that you're just not like repeatedly like playing this game of like odds attrition. Yeah, I'm really curious though. What the fuck happened? Anyway, here's where it gets clunky as hell.
Oh, oh, great. Okay, yeah, let it. Yeah, okay, yeah. I was waiting for this moment.
So all my reinforcements just showed up.
Yep.
They were all in this big clump. I can't now, even though the models are there in the hex, I can't get at them. They're all in this. They're all in this stack. So I need to pick the stack apart using this row of units down at the bottom. I think first I'm gonna get this artillery. Nope, I'm not.
Ding, ding.
Movement allowance exceeded? The fuck? Okay. Okay. So some of these guys move, but not all of them. I'm gonna guess maybe the whole stack. So my guess is what they're applying is there's often in war games of this type a penalty for trying to move too many units into one hex at a time. The idea being that like there's congestion. Mm-hmm. So the first units can enter with no penalty, but the cost for the later units to do it is higher. So that tends to be the issue. And I'm guessing
I was wondering where that cursor came from. Kato, that was you? Okay. I actually have some cursor options we can try. I've been doing some Googling about Parsec that we don't have to do it right this second. Wait till Rob is finished with this history lesson, but there are a couple of things we can try really quick to see if they do anything. But I was like, the fuck did that cursor come from? Is it when he's getting a Windows notification that it pops back into action? Very good. Very good.
Okay, so look, because they were in column, Meredith took 2 regiments all the way out there, and now these guys can follow. No, some of them can follow. Can you keep going? They can keep going. Wow. You can sort of see the movement factor, the movement value ticking off there in the window toward the bottom. That's a dubious value because the thing it's not doing well is communicating what is the movement cost for each of these like locations.
Is that the MV? Is that in the stat pile? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you know what your movement value is, but you don't. Okay, so you don't have like the full math in front of you to make like a fully calculated decision.
Right. All right, we're gonna try to get as many of these guys out of this hex as possible.
Tactful Ogre. This is a historical reenactment of Rob's cursor. Kato is LARPing as Rob's mouse movements. To the best of our knowledge, we think this is what Rob did.
I'm gonna need to see the VOD of this. This sounds unbelievably chaotic.
It's very I think if you didn't know any better, you would just, keep clicking.
There we go.
The little left to right that you're doing, Kato, is very good. She's like, no, yeah, this is important. Look at me. I'm looking at this spot.
And now I'm taking the cavalry unit that moved off to the right, and I'm putting them back on foot. And having them, I can't tell which way they're facing. I think that looks right. Because now I'm a little paranoid they're going to come down through the right. Anyway, next phase. Now, good news. If you're like, man, I hope there's a million of these games. There are. John Tiller's Civil War series, and this is the compilation I'm playing, I think has Shiloh, Gettysburg, Antietam, Chickamauga, and that other one. Chancellorsville, I want to say.
Movie Flash sounds great. Your new Sound Blaster card from CompUSA. I got so much shit from CompUSA. That over by Woodfield Mall, we're on Gulf Road. That was the big one that we used to go to when I grew up.
Just in terms of like unit like these phases we're going through, you can sort of see that defensive fire comes before offensive attacks, and this is a board game convention where the idea is well, obviously guys wouldn't just let you walk up to them and shoot them. While you're approaching, they would be firing on you. And so the defender's advantage is that during the person whose turn it is, the player who's currently like in more of a passive role does at least get to launch defensive fire attacks to try and like bust up enemy units before they can do anything.
Wow, people in the chat knowing exactly which Comp USA I'm talking about. Hysterical. Yep. Woodfield Ball's still there.
No, too long. I think that's the only attacking I can do. But yeah, like, so the thing I want to stress though is like, this is basically right before Sid Meier's Gettysburg comes out. Like, this is kind of the state of this art at the time.
Well, okay, so that's a pretty fucking dramatic jump then.
Yeah.
For all of Sid Meier's Gettysburg's, the ability to parse or not parse what's happening relative to what, like, streamline of interface, like presenting of information, like movement of troop, like that's remarkable. That generally we were going from this to that, because it's like a quantum leap in terms of presentation.
So I'm also really excited to hear what's happening. So now we are seeing something that looks way more appropriate. Like, this is way more the battle you were fighting. And like, this is completely different than what I saw earlier. I'm actually kind of thrilled by this because now it is taking the shape of the battle that we were playing in Sid Meier's Gettysburg. Right. But again, earlier today, and I can't stress this enough, the Confederate AI moved their entire army basically downstream here to see that little farmhouse way off to the left, not the very edge, but like toward the middle. They basically forced the crossing over there and didn't fuck with this ridge at all.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and that's like, and this is kind of why I think this is one reason why people tend to like John Tiller war games. Stuff like that is really hard for wargame AI because it's okay to like, it's easier to sort of optimize like for like, where's the unit right now, what is the best place for it to be that's like adjacent. It's way harder to create an AI that will make good decisions about like, I will move all my forces to a completely different like situation and try my luck there. That just doesn't happen very often, but like, it's happening here, which is really cool. My units are really out of position because I was playing the last battle. I was like, well, I know what the AI is going to do. And they're doing something completely different, which is basically kind of just doing a rushdown. And I have set myself up really badly to defend this.
Dude, it's incredible. And now another one's there. Incredible. My poor boy. Look what they did to my cropping.
Oh, please don't charge my artillery. Please don't charge my artillery. Shit, they're charging my artillery. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't know if you saw it real quick, but the defending unit was captured and removed.
Like they took it off the board. Like they picked up your fucking piece and tossed it.
I think my artillery might be their artillery now. Oh boy, I really fucked this up, gang. I made some mistakes. Oh, he can't even move. He can't, because okay, he's in a zone of control. So I can't get up the ridge now because they've taken the ridge. The ridge that I was supposed to defend now has rebels all over it. Shit. Well, this is good though. I'm glad you're saying how canny that this AI can even present a challenge to a master tactician like myself. Patrick, you can sound more supportive.
Well, I'm basing my entire belief structure on like how this is going to go on your own attitude towards it, and so I don't know what's going on. And so my entire view of events is how you feel about it, and you feel poor. And so I don't know how I'm supposed to support you when all evidence in front of me is that
I fucked this up.
We're about to get a bunch of more cosplaying videos of the Civil War that show you getting fucking routed.
Man, I cannot stress enough too. Like, is Civil War reenactment still much of a thing? Because man, the 90s were like just jam packed with it. And like it was the foundation of so much like History Channel shit.
Scrubby McDub says yes. That is without any evidence, but I'm choosing to believe it to be true.
I just
loose cannon, play by the rules, yes, and it sucks. I mean, that doesn't shock me. I mean, how much longer is this scenario? Do you want to try these goofy mouse tricks just so we can see if people can see your cursor, or do you want to just finish this out?
Want to try what?
I cannot hear you when those video files are playing.
I can't hear you either. So you're like, do you want to try something? And then it's just like all Confederates massacring my boys.
All right, hold on. I'll repeat myself after these video clips stop. Jesus Christ.
They're really going ham.
Okay, is it paused?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are two quick things we can try and see if we can get your mouse to show up. Okay.
Is it a parsec setting?
No. All right, so hit the Windows key and then type ease of access mouse settings and press enter. In the mouse key section, toggle the switch under use numeric pad to move mouse around to on.
This?
Hold on, I have to close the
use
menu.
Use numeric keypad to move the mouse pointer.
Just turn that on.
Okay.
Okay, you should still be able to use the mouse, but in theory, we might be able to see your mouse. I don't know.
All right.
Is that true?
Did people see it?
No.
Okay.
Didn't work. Hold on. There's one other thing. What's the other one? Ah, no, that was that one. Oh, okay. Okay, so hit Windows key and go into mouse settings. And then go into additional mouse settings. Or additional mouse options. And then turn on the fucking visibility trails.
Okay.
Yes!
Oh,
let's go!
Oh, no.
Turn him to short. Turn him to short. Maybe that'll make him look better.
No, we're doing... Oh, boy. We seeing it?
Yeah.
Well...
You're welcome.
I don't feel so good.
Now, hey, Rob, there is nothing more Windows 3. I don't know. Were the trails in 3.1 or was that like 95? I don't know when that came into play, but.
So we will just resolve this issue real quickly. So while they did sort of storm this hill, they're kind of now boxed in on three sides. And I think are going to get pretty thoroughly wrecked here. Oh, I could have done more. Oh, well. I really needed it. So I might have...
There's a lot of blue icons here. So you feel like you're losing? Because they have so many reinforcements coming where like whatever you do here They're just going to whittle you down over time.
Yeah, and I think so. In the last scenario I played, like historically, one of the things that like really does save the day for the Union on the first day is the first 2 artillery batteries on the scene, like immediately like pass into legend effectively because they are so well operated and they are so decisive that like they just start like shredding Confederate units in every direction. I am now down one of those units, and so historically, like they need to be doing like basically steady chip damage to the Confederates, like as they come up. I have lost that ability. Is that gonna? Okay, so now I charged in there to try and drive the Confederates off.
Yeah, can you do the charging? Like, don't let them charge you. You charge them, Rob. You know,
Yeah.
Get at it. Let them see some FMV. Charlie Walnut, somebody at Microsoft has been trying to delete that menu for at least 15 years. And, like, there's nothing more that demonstrates, you know, like Apple like is always sort of like advancing, not always for good reasons, getting rid of stuff, like throwing away history. But then in Windows, I could turn on mouse trails to fix an issue in Parsec to run a game from 1992 is beautiful.
I'm trying to figure out if the
Quatoria in the chat. I like the no backseating tag, as though any of us have ever played Sid Meier's Gettysburg. No backseating while we play this game.
Stop. Let us make our own mistakes.
Come on.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, this is so wild because like this morning's battle was nowhere near this bloody, and this time they went directly at me. And now like they're still working on my cavalry. If my infantry regiments can get up there, they're the ones who are built for this fight. This is kind of a this is the fight the cavalry really wants to avoid. But now they're kind of cornered in and they're having it. I bet they charge me. I bet they're gonna charge. Yep.
Yay! They're going, yay!
Oh Lord. Oh my God, and that was another unit that just melted, isn't it? Oh boy. Oh no.
I'm sure Kato has tweaked the audio for the audience, but I cannot convey how fucking loud the FMV is in this game. Like, I have turned Parsec to like 20%, and then these clips play, and it is though like a bugle horn is playing into my ear. Stop it, Windows. Don't make that noise.
Damn it. Okay. Well. Oop. Damn it.
The historical gamer. I did a Sid Meier's Gettysburg sleepover at a friend's who had a computer that could play it. We alternated between Gettysburg and Zelda on N64 all night. Incredible series of words that feel wholly unique to you and your life. Wow.
Like Gettysburg. I think
just getting together with the boys, playing a little Gettysburg, drinking some soda, playing some ocarina.
That is beautiful.
Gettysburg, Nick Bird, just a little Gettysburg and chill. Not sure that's ever happened.
Perfect. Wow, I've really fucked this up. This is great. I'm actually like kind of thrilled how badly this is going because when I was playing around with it earlier, it seemed like this game ain't shit, right? Like it's barely putting up a fight. And this time it went straight for the jugular in a way that I was completely not expecting. That perfect. So supply wagons have arrived on the map. I think it's like units run out of ammo basically, and they need to have a supply wagon within 5 hexes that they can top off. Otherwise, they can't shoot anymore. But here we're pretty well supplied.
I'm just gonna mute for a sec. I'm done listening to the sound effects in this game. I can't do it anymore. I can't hear anything you're saying when it plays.
It's incredibly loud.
It's so loud. I'm just like, I'm done. Just volume mixer. Boop, muted.
All right, now
it sounds like someone shuffled some cars and messed with the levels. I mean, who knows what this sounds like on a regular computer coming out of your, gosh, what speakers would I have had at the time? I guess Sound Blaster was also...
Lansing.
Yeah, Altic Lansing, that's probably what I had.
Cambridge Soundworks.
Yeah, there, boy, yeah, you're... Okay, yeah.
All right, yeah, now we're fucking massacring them. Come on. Let's put treason's rag to rout here.
You've kind of surrounded this group though.
Yeah.
So how does this scenario end? Because in Gettysburg, like it's at least in the missions, the missions I was playing, like it's pretty truncated and quick all told. Like
this is gonna end after 7 turns. Like this is also a bit truncated for sure.
What turn are we in?
We're in turn like 3.
Okay, I don't know that we can do all 7 turns.
No, I don't think we can.
Do you want to just like finish this little like combat skirmish and?
Oh man. Not him. Can they attack? Yeah, there we go.
And then we will jump back to Gettysburg. Unless, do you have more historical objects to show us?
No, I think we can probably just go back to Gettysburg.
Okay.
Unless you want to see what like the modern incarnation of Gettysburg is.
Let's see where we're at after we jump back into actual proper Gettysburg. Because I think this is like very useful. Like this was useful doing Gettysburg, Sid Meier's Gettysburg, seeing this as like this is what things were before, hopping back into Gettysburg, and then I'd be curious if we have time to close with that last one.
Yeah. So we did a counterattack there, and we disrupted 3 Confederate units. One of them rallied, but 3 routed. So like a counterattack went pretty well there. When it's saying routed, does it mean they're off the map, or is this like the equivalent in Sid Meier's where it's like they've been kind of like they're scared, they're retreating, right? Like okay. So like you can see these are routed troops right here. They're kind of disrupted. They're off to the side. In Sid Meier's Gettysburg, they tend to like just sort of linger around the battlefield until like a general can sort of rally them. All right. So I think I can hold this position. I think, but now it's just like we can probably call it. So we can go back to Gettysburg. So I'm gonna break the frame, Kato, and we're gonna dive into Gettysburg. Oh, I don't want to save that piece of shit. Don't you even dream of see here. See colon. There's the
Oh yeah, we're gonna switch back to Gettysburg. Rob's computer.
Okay.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick.
Can you try to join again? You're in. You see it. All right, so let's see here. I haven't done the fight the battle thing in ages, but the scenarios are kind of more where it's at.
Sickles attack. So what are we thinking?
All right. Pardon?
What are we thinking? What's the scenario?
Okay, let's go to okay. Let's go to a really tough one.
Okay.
Oh wait, really? Oh, that's different. Okay. So, yeah, we will play with a higher difficulty. Okay. Oh.
How much of the do you find those variables influence the actual scenarios, both in terms of like like one of those is not just the difficulty, but is also
yeah.
Like, hey, you're influencing like how they're going to attack. Like I want them to be aggressive. I'm sure this is because like this is the 12th time I played this scenario. I want like a challenge on how to do it differently. But I'm curious, like you were impressed there was any sort of dynamics to the previous game. How wild does it get in this one?
I've never found it to be that dramatic.
Okay.
Perhaps you misunderstood my order, sir.
No, but I deemed it advisable to advance my corps to the high ground at that peach orchard.
You are half a mile in front of Hancock's corps. Your corps is too small to hold such an exposed position. Your flanks are unsupported.
People asked about the mouse trails. We have to keep it on, right? Because my mouse wasn't present when I was playing, right?
Right.
It was the only way to do it.
Already forming to attack. I'll order Hancock to support you. Good luck. These are your objectives, General.
Okay, so basically this scenario, this guy, General
infantry coming up.
Sickles, was more of a politician than a general, which is true for a lot of Union commanders, and was kind of a renowned piece of shit even before the war. Huge piece of shit. Nobody liked this guy, but was an important politician, so he ended up getting a corps level command. And then the second day of Gettysburg, he was just supposed to hold like this line back here, these sort of rocky hills, and that's kind of key because it holds these two large hills. It bridges those with the rest of the Union position, like along Cemetery Ridge.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah,
for history. So you said like some of this piece of shit gets him. He's a politician. Then he gets to be on the board. Gets to be out there. Like seems like. Why would you want to be out there? Seems like a lot of people are going to die. So, were these politicians also frequently fucking dying because they wanted to play war? Yes. Okay, all right. Or I was wondering if they also were like cowardly enough to like leave when it got weird, and then we're like, I'm out of here.
Oh, I mean, the mortality rate for general officers in the Civil War is just staggering.
Sure.
Like these guys die in droves, and it's a decisive part of the war.
Seems like maybe just leave it to the war people then. Why you got to be out there, buddy? I guess it's just ego.
It's ego, and like genuinely, it's just it's a different time. Like it's a weird thing. Like there are people who genuinely, desperately want, like, first of all, like even like pieces of shit might desperately believe in like the cause of the Union. And maybe they were abolitionists too. But like there are people who are just sentimental about the idea of keeping the United States together. And we're like, no, let me at them. I want to fight the rebels. And so they would like move heaven and earth to be like, yeah, I'm not just going to be a politically connected like New York politician. I want to go out and like fight the rebels. I think in Sickles' case, there's also a bit of all these guys are sort of realizing that, you know, being a war hero could be a good thing in a few years for a political career.
Well, sure, yeah. That was like, I just was wondering how much like frontline stuff they were truly doing, because it seemed like they would just die. So I guess yes. Yeah. On one hand, advance your political career. On the other hand, probably get fucking smoked. But hey, you know, no risk, no reward.
So this guy basically moves his. He looks at what appears to be some good ground in advance of the position he was assigned. But in that little briefing, you heard that like, you know, they didn't want him to move out here because it was too far forward. Like it's good ground, except for the fact that it's actually way closer to the Confederates than it is to the rest of the Union forces. And so he basically, at a key juncture of the battle, like the Union has this thing on lock. And then he's just like, what if we just delete a huge portion of this line and I go get my ass kicked? And that's kind of what happened. Confederates have not appeared yet. But they will. Okay, yeah. Oh, shit.
Wow.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, it's bad. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Man, I was like they warped in through some portals and we're here now.
Alright, we're gonna have to... Jesus. Alright, so I'm gonna issue these guys a fallback command. The way artillery does that is, you'll hear them... Oh, sorry, not these guys. The way artillery fallback is you'll hear them give the retreat on recoil command, was basically, rather than rolling the gun back into place after each shot, they just let the gun roll back with the force of the recoil. And they withdraw that way. It's very slow, but it allows them to keep up fire while moving.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, this position's already turned is the problem. Oh man,
that seems bad.
Oh yeah, it's all kinds of bad. Yeah, I don't think. No, I must have these troops.
We're not here for the victory points. We're here for the victory.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
So when you're tuning the difficulty in this game, is this like a bullet sponge situation? Is it an AI, like how they deploy their troops situation? Like how is the game tuning what it considers to be difficulty?
I think it might actually even fudge with some of the timing of these scenarios. Like this has gone bad real fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think on a lower difficulty, there might be more wind-up time.
Maybe you might get layers of troops as opposed to the entire line of them with seven cannons set up as well.
Right. Oh, God. See, okay, see, we didn't even see... We are so flanked, they're coming out of nowhere.
Get them bugle boys moving.
Oh my God.
Don't want to be routed. I know that much.
I'm going to emphasize here, this is basically what's supposed to happen to the Union. Like,
it's an uphill battle scenario if you're playing from this side.
Yeah.
So yeah, seems more fun to be the other side. Seen purely from a video game perspective. Like, I have this giant, like, it's like the equivalent of when I'm playing like Command and Conquer, and I just like drag the big rectangle over 50 troops and just attack. Like that's what it felt like happened here. Hey Swanson, Rob, I'm not a bad commander. This is just the forces of this.
It's true though. This is the biggest L the Union took during the battle. All right, we're gonna have to bring in, I'm just gonna have to assume that Carr's brigade is not gonna...
I'm not turning into a corn cob. I'm supposed to be getting owned.
Man, this is so, it's also very congested. So I'm running into the same problem you were, Patrick, which is like, I don't... Oh, great. Where's that? Where is that? Oh, great. You mean right where I just moved these guys off? Oh, shit.
Oh, there's another set of troops?
Yeah, like right where I just vacated my line. Go back. Go back. Oh wow. But anyway, yeah, I'm running the same problem.
I was gonna say you can tell that Rob is mildly overwhelmed because you're retreating into I'm doing no commentary over the game, and it like doesn't happen with you very often.
Yeah. So, but to complete the thought, like, there was that point, Patrick, where you're like, I'm not sure if I'm like, like, there's points where it's hard to keep track of like who's doing what. And like right in here, you can see it's such a dense little mob of troops that like it's really hard to keep track of. Like, are these guys doing anything right?
Right. Yeah, I was constantly hoping for a status indicator that was like engaged in fight, not like, you know, like you've got a group of guys, two different sets of units over here that just are standing, and you know, you can easily lose track of that stuff, and I feel like maybe that would not be the difference between winning and losing, but it's certainly a difference between winning well or like losing by the skin of your teeth.
Oh man. Did they just say they captured my gun? Yep, they did. They did.
Not a fan of losing the gun.
No. No. Look, it's a hard scenario. Ooh.
And there's really not much you can do about all the cannon fire, right? That's just sort of like L's you have to take while you hopefully deal with everything else, right? Like, it's not like you could send I guess in theory you could send troops around to try and deal with them, but it doesn't seem like it'd be very successful.
Well, I do kind of wonder too, like, did I miss a trick here? Because like, so there's these troops that are black flagged AI command. I wonder, would it have been more efficient to use that as an anchor point in my line so that...
Wait, so if you had just fallen back and had them meet that line, they would get triggered. Okay. Because otherwise you just have like 20 troops that are just, you know, chilling. Watching you get fucking slaughtered.
You know what? I'm gonna take a page from the Patrick Klepek book.
Skirmish, baby.
62nd Pennsylvania is going into skirmish mode. That is, we didn't have goblin mode in 1863, but we did have skirmish mode.
I mean, the animations suggest some goblin behavior. Things are going very poorly in the Northeast. In the center, I can't really tell. I think you're okay down here in the south. You know, in the south. You got so many cannons down here. It seems like many of the cannons maybe are not doing anything though.
Well, I think a bunch of them routed, so I think they might have just come back into action from having been rallied. But I think the reason they sort of congealed over there is because a bunch of them had a little freak out.
Yep.
and ended up being like at a rally point.
All right,
That's
they're
what
moving
Sickles
they're
is
moving
doing.
their cannons forward.
Yeah, but more units are breaking, so like in the middle there, it's collapsing again.
Yeah, they're running. They're getting skirmished. Firstico writes, it's wild looking at the critical reception for this game, seeing it received almost universal praise and being a commercial success. There's probably a piece out there or yet to be written about why historical games as a theme have declined in popularity so much. Does that happen along the same track of strategy games in general going out of favor, or did that happen to history before that? I guess it had to have happened to history before it happened to strategy, because you have games like Command and Conquer, Red Alert, World of Warcraft, or Warcraft sort of take over. But I don't know personally where like the strategy or war stuff exists at that moment in time.
So I think the correct way to think about it is that there's no decline. It is that there's a lack of growth as the industry grows. And that's really the key thing, is that by the mid 1990s, late 90s, this was a mainstream genre for what gaming was at the time, particularly on PC.
If you think of it as a pie, it's like it had a pretty big slice of the pie, but then that pie just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, and like, who's going to be early adopters of technology like this, right? Like fairly affluent, like, let's be real, right? Like PC gaming, especially from late 80s into your 90s, is probably a field dominated by like a lot of affluent, older white guys. That's not to say nobody else is playing them, but that's like sort of where the market begins.
And also you have those people who can be parents bringing that into their families, thus then children are exposed to that as their entryway into computer games, simulations. If it, who knows if they even have a Nintendo, or a Sega machine in the home, this might be what they have.
And you can't underrate, like, I mean, gaming PCs were so expensive through the 90s. We talk about they're expensive now, but like, it is, the rate of hardware obsolescence in the 90s was just ridiculous. The minute you ended up in a world where, especially like by the time you hit a point where, how long was the Xbox 360 console generation? Like 7 years?
Yeah. How long did my 486, 66 last? Like 2 years?
Right. So, I mean, the minute it turned into a thing where now people can buy their gaming hardware, like, lasts for years, the accessibility really goes up, and you get a lot more people playing these games. And so, like, the war games don't die off, wargamers don't die off, but it remains a niche that, relative to everything else, shrinks, and so you stop targeting it. Again, like, this is Firaxis making a war game as their first game out of the gate after leaving Microprose. 2K is not going to be like, you know what, Sid? Go and remake Sid Meier's Gettysburg. We need to cool things off after XCOM 2. To hell with the Marvel Tactics game. We need to go back to the Civil War. That's just not
like
happening.
XCOM 2. Like is an instance in which you have strategies breaking through to a broader layer than they did probably for. You have crossover with probably folks that like yourself that were started in the wargaming space. But XCOM was a game that that was a blockbuster game on the PC. I mean, not Doom, but like it was in that same conversation. I once tried to play XCOM 2 was the underwater one, right?
Yeah, Terror from the Deep.
Yeah. It was too tough for me. It kicked my ass. I think all I played was the PC Gamer demo. I got on a disc at one point.
Hey, remember those guys who were up here?
Yeah. Just hanging out. Like Derek Carr with his very short Las Vegas Raiders extension, just being like, I'm fine up here. Don't worry about me.
Oh my God. This is really bad, y'all.
Confederates capture Rose Wheatfield. Oh, and that's a spot that I thought was going pretty well for you.
I'm starting to feel like nothing's going really well, Patrick.
No, and they keep moving their cannons forward. That's just like that's always when I was feeling confident in the scenarios I played. I was like, I'm gonna move that cannon forward and really fuck with you, and they keep moving their cannons forward.
You know what? The AI units can do some fucking lifting right now.
Let's go. Get them in there. A. Swanson, Dad's got computers from the office and used them for dad shit during the evenings. Yeah, I don't know why my dad got a computer. Like, I can't remember why, like, never a technology guy. He was in sales, so there was, like, some early adoption of computers for efficiency reasons. But I can't tell, like, there were video games in the house. I was into that in an early age, but I don't know why we got whatever machine we got. It was our 486. I don't think that was our compact. I think we got that after, but maybe I'm wrong on that front. I can't remember.
Oh no. The Confederates found out of my batteries.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little bit...
Yeah, are we just waiting to get the game over?
I'm kind of curious how bad it is now. But can I admit defeat?
Well, 3,000 people died, but you had 10,000.
Yeah. So, I lost
these
all the
points are getting for the
locations.
capture points that they were getting.
Yeah, so, and I think this is kind of key to the Civil War right here, right? So that was just a righteous ass whipping, right? Yeah. And yet, I didn't lose that many more guys than they did, and this is kind of the math of the Civil War, is that, like, even the Confederates' biggest victories, where they just, like, mopped the floor with the Union, it's never actually decisive to the point that, like, the Union army is destroyed. And this is what Lee was always sort of trying to get, and this is what he was trying to accomplish at Gettysburg, was, like, if I can just, like, actually destroy this army, we will win this war. And it feels like that should be doable, but it just isn't, because that's not the type of war this is. And so, like, the lethality of the weapons at this period is so intense that, like, even the winning side gets incredibly fucked up in the course of a battle like this.
So just like a larger war of attrition as opposed to, like, the individual, like, wins and losses telling the whole story.
Yeah. God, that was brutal. Okay. Wow. Maybe we need to try something. Did you fight the battle?
The what?
The fight the battle option.
Fight the battle is what I was always doing.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like the story mode that escalates over time.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't know if you can pick where you start or if you're just going to start with where I did. Like, I think you have to, I think this is part of, like, the saved game thing. You're going to have to, like, you'd have to work your way through it. Oh, hey, at least you get the video. Oh, because you've got that CD-ROM in. That's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
General Buford, sir, my scouts report a sizable Confederate force in the vicinity of Cashtown.
Yes, Colonel Devon.
So did they license this stuff, or did they shoot it?
Great battle fought at this point.
I guess they licensed it. Again,
you might be able to get that question answered. There's a possibility that you can get an answer to that question, Rob, if some things work out.
Also, I mean, worth pointing out, like, Firaxis is a Baltimore-based studio. Like, they could have, like, basically at any point in the summer in those years, they could have driven, like, 90 minutes on a weekend with a video camera and gotten this footage.
That makes sense.
So, you must hold this location at the end of the battle.
Weird. So the battle I'm getting is different than the one you got.
This is your best brigade.
Right? Like, look at this. So when you did the fight the battle, Cutler's forces were already on that ridge. Right? I'm not imagining that. Like, this entire stage of the battle didn't exist when you were playing earlier.
That might be true. I can't remember exactly. Mechanized, different difficulty levels start you at different points. I think that's what we're trying to figure out, is like what, I was obviously playing on the novice difficulty just so I could figure out what I was doing. This does seem like units are arriving fast, like there's more going on faster.
Okay, so yeah, this is where the balance of the fight is going to be here. So this is kind of following the path that we saw in the John Tiller battle, where like they're just going straight for the throat here on this ridge. Where are the rest of my reinforcements? Oh, good. Thank God. Okay. So, like, this scenario is all going to be about, like, trying to just hold the sheer mass of troops at bay. The thing that's making me a little nervous, too, is I can't see through these woods very well. Like, yep.
Oh,
and
wow.
that's what I was afraid of.
There are people just hiding in there.
Yep. Oh, no, no, not again. Not again. No.
Stop running, boys.
Hall, you need to move. Not in that direction, Hall. Wow, this is
yeah, this is a lot more intense more quickly.
Yeah.
Than my version of it.
So gonna have Reynolds rally this artillery battery because they got routed like straight away. Ooh, god damn. Yeah, we need to really get these guys in place because like the sheer weight of the Confederate troops that are appearing here is pretty overwhelming, and this tiny little Pennsylvania brigade is getting overrun. I do wonder, could I fuck with these artillery batteries? No, I can't. Okay, so this is not good. So these, like, and this is, I think, a big part of the game that I'm probably not being good enough about is these little jogs in the line, these little salients that are appearing are really bad news. Where like small units are out of position, they're just getting cut up from three sides.
Yeah.
And I think this is what's causing like entire sections of the line to melt in seconds. But like, it takes time to go fix that, right? Like you really have to zoom in and like kind of figure out what's going on over here. The answer is usually nothing good. People were asking, were there this many bugle calls in the Civil War? No, I don't think so. I think maybe the most questionable decision this game has made is the extensive use of bugling.
You might be able to turn them off. Because the sheer frequency is not informing you of anything.
No.
I think it's supposed to signal that an action has been completed, right? Like, hey, I moved these troops here, it's done. But like, when you're hearing it every 2 seconds, oh man, you got like, that group on the right is just getting fucking plastered with cannonballs. Not them, a little bit.
Oh, hey, this is good.
Oh, Rob. Run! Run, A! Run!
Are there any more fucking... Okay, Hall is back up at least. Thank God.
That's a good point. Gundata says the bugle notifications probably made a lot better sense when we had much lower actions per minute. Like, would this game be running a lot slower on an older machine? Thus,
you know, it's felt faster, but I don't know if that's just memory, right? Like, this is the game's a little faster than I recall, but broadly, this still feels right. I'm not sure it's the time.
Yeah, I can't imagine this. I can't imagine this game is actually running at like a fifth of the speed.
Right.
You know, it doesn't. Normally, when you play a game in which like the animation cycles get fucked up by essentially the clock speed of your CPU, like
maybe we can just calm that down now. Do we see anything here?
You can turn just that. Well, the problem is I think you can only turn sound effects off.
Yeah. Maybe at least moderate it. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, we got, you know, they're just running a distraction play.
Shit. Yeah, there's too many Confederates.
This seems like a crummy way to die, Rob. This doesn't seem like a fun war. Just line up in this fucking field and
yeah, no, it seems
don't like it.
Well, I mean, the good news is for the most part,
I guess it's over quick.
Chances are like this is bad. You know, probably the way you're more likely to die is shitting yourself to death.
Yeah.
This is, so I think this might be like the last major war fought before germ theory, by the way. So like,
Sir, reinforcements are coming up.
just like I feel like
You got reinforcements,
later,
Rob. Don't forget them.
Reporting, General.
There you, oh, that's critical. Critical. Sorry, I interrupted your thought about germ theory.
No, but like a decade later, people would understand like why do people like why does an
Get
exposed
sick?
cut just like fucking kill you?
Yeah.
But they didn't yet, and so you know, like wounds were overwhelmingly fatal, or at least like would result in amputation in this war, and then like basic camp hygiene wasn't followed very effectively. So like, and that's before you even get to the fact that the Union especially had a problem with, you know, because the Union is the half of the United States that's sort of dominated by like large industrial business interests. Would it surprise you that they had a massive corruption problem in their military contracting system?
Wonderful.
Sir, reinforcements are coming up.
So it was like, remember in the Terror when they're like, hey, all our food is going bad, and is basically poisoned now? That's like reality for the Union. Oh boy.
Great first season of a show. Never watched the second season. Don't know if that was any good, but the first season of Terror, if you haven't seen it, fantastic. It's an AMC show from 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Okay, so I want to make clear. I set the difficulty to max.
You did.
I did. And then we're getting a taste of like, so what's happened here? The Confederates show up at a really fast pace. Oh good, Gamble's wounded, Cutler's wounded, everything is unraveling. All
But
is
I
lost.
mean, you got that horse hanging out in the forest over there. Good for that horse.
Sir, we'll get it back.
Oh, okay. You know what? Wow.
I don't think we
Sorry,
will.
Wadsworth. Didn't mean to rat you out. Damn.
No malingerers here.
Oh my God, Rob. Holy shit. They're just moving those cannons in. You're fucked.
Oh boy. This would be a great moment to rally these dudes. Can we rally?
Get them in there. Let's go. What does rally mean? What does that do?
Oh, he's sort of putting these guys back in order, so they can be used again, for war.
So they can go to the meat grinder.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, the 24th Michigan is not gonna make a go of that. I had hoped that maybe they could. They can't.
They're just kind of sitting there getting shot at. Oh, yeah, your cannons. Very scared. Those horses be running off. Well, there's one of them.
No, shoot those guys right to your right. Jesus Christ, please.
Well,
I could.
Come on, Stevens, hold the line. Hold the line.
Well, the thing is, he might. Like, one regiment versus a point-blank battery is not a good fight for infantry. But I'll be honest, like, this is pretty gnarly here.
In the bottom left-hand corner next to the compass, is that showing sort of the ebb and flow of the fight?
This bar?
Yeah.
When the bar fills up, they're broken. These are the morale points. So it's filling with basically terror. So the bucket of, like, how much shit can these guys take?
Not much more,
Rob.
Bar. One bucket more.
Are these guys too close to the line to get calmed down? Does Reynolds need to take them further back? Maybe that.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey guys, we're just rallying the troops. We just need to go back here for a little bit. You keep fighting. We'll be back when we've rallied. Starcat, my horrors of war meter is dangerously full.
Oh wow, these guys are still out here doing their thing.
Yeah, look at them.
Good for them.
Just crush it. You know what? You can only accomplish what you are tasked. Rob has just got these masses of units. Just look at those guys. What are they doing? 7th Wisconsin.
Oh no, they ran away in dread.
Oh, well.
Yeah, no, I didn't forget about them. They put themselves there. Oh boy. Hey,
oh.
Hey, can
well.
we? Oh, look, these guys are soldiers again. Look at them. Look at them go. 56
Yay! We love war.
Can we keep falling back and do something about them? Oh, they broke them. Look, see, they charged that battery, and the battery fucking melted them.
Oh man, and your 84th is just getting fucking rocked by cannon fire. Say, for as poorly as this has gone at points, I thought the game would have. I thought the scenario would have ended by now. I think you have like.
It.
I think you have like pulled it from the brink, even if you lose.
Yeah, it's so these guys are starting to come back into action, which is helping. On the other hand, right as things begin to look a little more stable over here, this is going bad again.
It is. Yep. People seem to be walking away. Not that interested.
Just walk away.
I don't like all these bullets. You know, just
Can I get a vibe check on McPherson's Woods, guys? We feeling good about this?
some good places to shit. Can wash your hands if you feel like it. No, that's not really people's thing.
No, they don't believe in it yet.
No.
Good places to shit equals my water supply.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, somebody asking, we've seen Cutler's brigade. Where's Trubisky's brigade? Beautiful. Hey. I
hope he does
let me
well.
find the Pennsylvania troops, because that's where we'll find Mitch.
That's true.
Gonna lead the Pittsburgh Steelers to something. Does Baker Mayfield still not have a job?
He does not. There's nowhere for him to go.
Man.
Maybe to the Panthers, maybe to Seattle, maybe to... Like, most quarterback situations are settled. He's not great, but he's not that bad. But he might be sitting out a year.
Man. Awkward loss of musical chairs.
Very. Well, once the Colts went with Matt Ryan, which probably makes more sense for the kind of team they have anyway. That was it's kind of obvious landing point got taken away.
And once Cleveland decided there is no bottom.
No, yeah. Well, look, Cleveland like hasn't had a bottom as like a team building exercise for decades, and then they said, but what if we combine that without a moral bottom? Might as well just go for it completely. I feel bad for Cleveland. I feel bad for Cleveland fans, like genuinely.
So I think this is going to end soon. And I'm very curious what scenario it feeds up next, because this is not historically what is supposed to happen. Historically, like, yes, the Union does eventually get driven off here, but like they're supposed to hold longer into the morning and not get their asses completely kicked, as happened here. I believe we have about 15 more minutes, but that's not real time. That's game time, so probably only a couple more minutes of play before this is mercifully ended. Hey, we can stop falling back though. We can halt and get back to work.
Calvin Ball 05 spent years brainwashing my partner into becoming a football fan. Last year, she became a genuine, diehard Browns fan. She no longer likes football. Yep. That's a bummer.
Although, as I gather, this attorneys general thing that's happening is actually kind of a real threat. The like 6 states attorneys general filing like hostile workplace suits against the NFL.
As a result of him, I missed that. Is like due to his sheer presence.
It's not. It's about like, think of how many scandals there've been in the last year, right? Like the Cowboys, anything with Washington and the Snyder regime. So I think it is genuinely like there are enough legally actionable things out there that now in multiple states there's actual investigations happening, which is interesting. I feel like I've not seen that before.
You have killed a lot of these people, Rob. I'm curious how this ends up.
Especially once the 8th New York Cavalry comes in. Get their asses. Oh, wait, hold on. Never mind. Now we're playing video games. Now we are playing video games.
Double quick, baby. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have time for them to do anything.
Get in there.
I mean, the game's very clear. Like when it explains the double quick Funk's like, look, they can run faster, but they basically turn into butter.
Okay, that didn't work. It turns out there were
No.
Confederates all over McPherson's Hill. I was kind of hoping they just left the campsite unguarded, and I was just gonna try to like base trade. Oh
Wait.
my god. No, it's not over yet. Okay, it's gonna end.
Oh.
Well, I think we can admit defeat here.
Can you claim victory? Marginal, Rob. I think that's a dub. There were so many scenarios.
Way to
that
go,
looked-
me.
I think that is a win. I think you should be very happy with yourself.
Wait, look, do you remember when you got the decisive victory? You got a beautiful, like, embossed, like, McPherson's Hill on your flag, and mine is shot to shit and like a child's scrawl. McPherson's Hill.
Oh, my 5-year-old daughter.
They hit us pretty hard, General. Heath's division.
Yeah, no
coming
shit.
down Cashtown Pike.
I mean, we really got rocked, sir.
With the rest of my corps.
Have you heard of the new phrase the kids are saying? We got our ass kicked. I think that applies, sir.
Is on its way.
They better hurry. The enemy is forming for another attack.
Looks like they've been reinforced. Probably a 2nd division. Stand your ground, General.
I'll do my best.
Well, I've got this gun. I'll do my best.
You must hold this location at the end of the battle. This is your best brigade. There'll be some more infantry coming up.
Oh, good. We're not on any of our positions.
Ooh.
Battle line! Brigade! Wheel right! Brigade! Wheel right!
Feel right.
Maneuver column! Brigade! Wheel right!
Okay, so where are them Confederates at? That's the.
Where are they not at? Seems to be.
Battle line! Get it!
This is kind of nerve-wracking. It's like knowing Jaws is out there.
Mm-hmm. What's the victory condition? What do you need to take?
Seminary Ridge is worth 9 VP. So I think it's
Oh, I
900,
see. The white
yeah.
spots.
So this like low hill, this little dip, this crossing basically, and then this high ground. And I don't see shit.
Skelegon, Robert E. Jaws lurking in the bushes.
Oh shit!
Well, Rob, at least you went north.
No!
Pitzer's Hill, Pitzer's
shit.
Woods. Is that Pitzer?
Oh shit!
Reporting, General.
You want to be officer spotted.
Bruh.
You're Spangler's Woods. Oh, like I remember that from Ghostbusters.
Oh boy, so that's cavalry. I should be able to win this fight, maybe.
Sir, reinforcements are coming up.
I do kind of like. This is kind of groovy in terms of like. This battle doesn't have a shape yet that's readable, which is kind of cool. Like,
Yeah. Like in the last fight, it was like, you know, or the fight before that, the one that like you got slaughtered in. Like, I mean, the definition of that happened immediately.
right.
Here, you can be like, there's an opportunity to have your troops in precariously horrible positions because you just chose to go northwest.
Okay, so.
Reporting, General.
That being said, they're coming from the complete opposite side from where I thought they would.
Right.
I am a little bit
Reporting, General.
like, is
Yeah,
this
all your bets were incorrect. You went north and they came from the south. There's a lot of troops coming in from the south.
Reporting, General.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is bad. Oh my god. Oh, Rob, there's more coming from the north end of the woods.
Can't do that, General.
Because I'm getting the fuck out of here.
All right, here's a question. Do I have any reinforcements that I have not noticed showing up?
Blue Neurosis says, in technical terms, I believe you call this a whoopsie daisy.
So the bad news is because I pushed them deep into these orchards, it's gonna take longer. They're slower to move through ground like that.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Love me some terrain modifiers.
Holy shit.
Reinforcements are coming up.
Where? Lutheran Seminary. Oh, great. So just in the complete wrong fucking direction.
Gonna get them to, double time, baby. Get them to run.
What is happening? There are Confederates spawning out of a pool of shadows down here.
Wow. You don't
there's
remember
some sort of eldritch...
You don't remember that scene from Avengers Endgame?
Sir,
Oh.
we'll get it back.
No, fall back. Don't let the Confederates eat you. Wow. I think we all learned a great deal about Sid Meier's Gettysburg today.
Which is?
It's harder than I remember.
Well, you also ratcheted up the difficulty. Let's be clear.
That is true. Like,
You didn't put it. There's easy, medium, and hard. You put it on hard, and then there's like an expert mode.
that is true, and I should note there's one other thing that I did forget here. Like when I think of games like Sid Meier's Pirates, for instance, hard mode in that is really fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like Civilization 2, like deity level, like gets extremely cutthroat, and so this is like the war game version of that, where it's just the things go to shit at such a staggeringly fast rate that you kind of can't arrest the skid. That's my theory anyway.
I subscribe to it.
Oh, don't.
The
Yikes.
Yam King didn't know the Confederacy mastered the Zerg Rush.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Where's Howard? Okay, I can get these 2 regiments into these 2 brigades into place maybe and put this back together, but it's bad. It's bad.
If you didn't everyone north, you know, you would have been in a better position to at least stem some of your...
That's the weird thing is like the briefing map. I'm not like I didn't imagine this. The briefing map showed them pushing off from where we just been fighting, which is over here.
Right.
And instead, they came through here, which is like, I think, wrong.
If I
During the briefing,
if I were
it
running this
also
war, I would simply come from the place that was right.
the beginning of that briefing, the end of that briefing rather, also said, just hold your lines until reinforcements come.
Yeah, Rob did move immediately. He just was like,
hold on, the lines were in the wrong place though.
Were they? I thought they were down
weren't
south.
north. They weren't north enough away from where all the enemies would come.
Weren't they in the? I think they might have kind of set
Feels
them
like
up
if you
for
left it where it was, you actually would have been in the forest and maybe a little more well positioned for them
You know,
out.
who's to say?
I mean, it's history. We can't talk to those people. Who is to say?
Sorry, General, my ADHD means it's hard for me to pay attention to briefings, and I get a little antsy sometimes.
Between my ADHD, this cut on my arm, and the fact that I keep shitting and refusing to wash my hands, it's just things are a problem, General. Mountaineer Blue, did you have the map upside down? Oh shit! Oh shit! I did it again! Rob! You colossal dipshit! You put the map upside down again.
Oh boy, the rallying ground is in danger of being overrun. Oh shit. Everybody run. Oh gee, oh gosh.
Oh golly.
Oh,
yeah, running
no.
away. I feel like that's what they said in the tutorial. Run away. Run away from the pain.
Yeah, just everybody retreat. Jesus Christ. Spangler's Woods. Which one was Spangler's Woods? That's Will's. Where the hell's Spangler? Hold on here. Reports. Oh. Oh, good. Okay, but come on. Where are they coming from? Where are the roads? Shouldn't they be tired?
Not when they're so confident they're gonna kill. Just getting a little extra oomph. Wow, there's just more just keep showing up. Yeah, if we just fall back a couple of feet, I think if we, you know, just catch our breath,
Yeah, so... Hey, oh man, it's 5:30 though. You know, it's getting pretty late, right?
I think maybe we don't have time to see this scenario all the way through, so we're just not gonna know how it ends.
Yeah, I think, look, we're making really good inroads here. With
there's a lot of
General Paul and Baxter's brigade. I think we can feel pretty confident that this is all coming back around. And yeah, I think we'll just have to see, like... Here's the other thing. I'm still holding Seminary Ridge. They haven't broken through. Right?
I mean,
that's a pretty strong line.
That's a win in of it. I mean, you do yeah, I guess if that is the measure of victory, you'd probably be able to hold out for a while. Hey Rob, can you just claim victory? What happens?
Apparently, my aide disagrees.
Why not? Like, when does that become viable?
What's the current score?
You're doing pretty good.
Huh. Thanks, Seminary Ridge. Also, the Confederates are dropping like flies.
It's more just like visually, they look like they have so many troops.
Well, they do is the thing.
Can you increase the game speed? Turbo.
Oh!
What did you do?
Oh shit. Okay, so turbo time was a mistake. Okay.
These are your objectives, General.
Wait, what? Did I do so badly I'm now in a scenario they didn't even record dialogue for?
Just set the shit to turbo again. I want to watch that again. Hit me. The sound effects, like just spamming, like someone just smashing a keyboard.
Oh, that's it. That's the battle. We lost Gettysburg. That's it.
Well,
we're done. Oh no.
Oh, is this game over? Like game over?
General Meade, the men are nearly spent. I fear they cannot withstand another such disastrous day.
The men cannot be faulted for their efforts, General Hancock. The defect lies rather in their leadership, sir. We must revise our tactics and look to the proper disposition of our troops. Then perhaps we may reverse our disastrous fortunes tomorrow.
Why are all their head bandages so clean?
General Slocum, make ready your troops.
All right, we should probably call it there.
What are my orders?
Deploy your corps to attack. Yesterday
Incredible.
was an unfortunate day for this
Incredible.
army. In spite of our valiant efforts, the enemy has established himself on the high ground.
Well, I was gonna do it for this stream. Are we going to do another Gettysburg stream? If we do it again, it probably shouldn't be with me. Like maybe we should bring in like Ren or Kato.
Yeah.
Or someone else. We will do at least. So we'll do one more Gettysburg stream. I think you should dig up some more historical artifacts too. That was a really fun
These are your objectives,
part of this.
General.
So we'll probably do that next week.
Brigade.
You're in the midst of hopefully. If you're not interviewing Sid Meier, but like, there's a chance you're gonna be able to do a cool thing associated with this. For Waypoint Plus subs, and then in a couple of, so I guess like 2 weeks from now, we'll record our Waypoint 101 about this. So you know, sometime around early May, we should be wrapping all this up. Arctic Sloth. Okay, but what if Natalie plays? Natalie's so fucking busy. We would love to have Natalie doing more stuff, and she would love to be doing more stuff. But the reality is she's in production on and trying to finish a goddamn video game. So we're just thankful she's able to come around for some of the live stuff, and we have plans for her to do more stuff in the future. But the reality is that it's tough, because yes, I would love to watch her. She would probably maybe just only play on turbo mode, but I
believe she pretty pointedly was like, she's specifically not available for this one.
Yeah. You know what? Hey, gotta pick your.
Yep.
Pick your wins and losses. But yeah, streams like this, things like Waypoint 101 is only possible because of Waypoint Plus. You can sub over at waypointplus.com. Let's see, what do we got coming this week? Actually, tomorrow there will be a Waypoint Plus spoiler cast with Cameron Kunzelman.
No,
today. That's Wednesday. That's today. Is it up?
It is up.
It's
it went up before the stream.
It was loading.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So there, right now, you can go listen to a spoiler cast of Norco. I'm gonna get there somehow. My brain is now broken. I'm pronouncing that game with Cameron Kunzelman, Ren, Kato, discussing all the ins and outs of that very cool adventure game. Do you have Is there another manhunting coming up, or is the next thing going to be Gettysburg?
I think the next thing might be Gettysburg, but like what's coming up is
you have an ambitious thing coming up next for the next phase of
it's maybe overly ambitious, but we'll see.
Good. So yeah, look forward to all that. We'll be back. So knock on wood, plastic, whatever else I got around here. But that if you've listened to this week's podcast, you've heard some of Rob's audio adventures, and he's heading into New York tomorrow, right? You're driving down tomorrow to hang out in the big old city, New York City, to get his speakers, and also to hopefully do a Friday build a keyboard stream. That is the current plan. So stay tuned for that. And then while they're doing that, I'm playing this thing. I don't think this breaks an embargo. I'm allowed to show that it doesn't have a UI element. This play date, which I'll be able to talk about and have a review up on Monday. So, but that's going to do it. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll be back with a keyboard stream on Friday.
You go out for something you wanted, 'cause everything's the same. You waste away everything you find. You sold out for something you wanted, the future and the fame. You waste away